How are they feeling towards you? So, Spirit, for the viewer, may we please have a look? The person that the viewer has on their mind, can we have a look and see how that person is feeling towards the viewer at this moment, please? So, I've been away for a few days. It's great to be back. And for those of you that have been waiting for the same day readings and for emergency readings, they are now reopened. Bottom of the deck, we have got the Eight of Swords. Sideways, we have got the Knight of Wands. We've got the Two of Cups, Judgment, and we have got the King of Wands. So to me, as I look at all of these cards, it feels like this person is deeply tied to you with this Two of Cups and Judgment here. It shows that they understand that there's something significant between the bond. And it maybe feels for some of you like this might be some sort of second chance, or certainly a call that they can't ignore. The issue is showing up as this Eight of Swords. So they feel trapped somehow, either in their thoughts or their circumstances, or their fears about what it would mean for them to act on their feelings. The Knight of Wands that came in sideways, it shows hesitation. Usually the Knight of Wands is someone who really rushes in, but there's something that is stopping them. And then this King of Wands really reveals that beneath it all, they want to come forward with confidence, but only if they can feel in control. So it feels like this is someone who is battling between desire and doubt. And it feels like they're closer to choosing clarity than we might think. Now, where to start with this reading? I think I'm going to start here with this Two of Cups. Now, in a traditional Two of Cups cards, you would see two beings that were faced one another and they would have the cups in between them. I find it particularly interesting that they are not actually looking at one another, but they are looking forward, as it were. It shows some sort of alignment in presence. They're looking out into the world together side by side, and we can see that their arms are crossed over one another, and these cups, they look like they're united. To me, as I look at this, it feels like they're saying that we choose this bond with full awareness. This almost reminds me of the higher self and of soul contracts. We can see that they have these enormous butterfly headdresses, and this speaks of transformation, not just personal but also shared transformation. So as if each has been through some sort of change, even in separation perhaps. And now with this Judgment card in the mix, we see that this connection might be undergoing some sort of rebirth. Traditionally, the Judgment card brings in reckoning and resurrection, and it says when we put these two cards together, if we're going to do this, let's do this consciously. Let's not repeat old patterns. So this pairing is no longer about fantasy, it's about showing up in the now, changed and awakened and clear-eyed. I'm really getting the feelings that this is an ancient soul contract, and the both of you decided to come down here together to look at this future and to achieve something in this lifetime. If we look at the way that they are dressed, it has this sense of history to it. So once again, I feel that the both of you, at least on a soul level, have had history together. I'm really picking up on shared goals, especially if these are shared goals from a soul level. I certainly feel like the both of you have had other lifetimes together, and in this lifetime you have come down to accomplish shared goals together. So the Knight of Wands is often a card that shows as fire and passion and impulse. Someone who charges forward without always thinking through the consequences. But in this particular deck, you can see that he is riding a very strange, almost otherworldly creature. We can see that it is some sort of hybrid, possibly bird with some sort of insect. It has 8 legs here, giving it the speed of something supernatural and this very surreal energy, maybe something to do with the dream world. And the fact that they showed up sideways is really key. It shows that there's some sort of hesitation. They're caught between wanting to rush in passionately, maybe even recklessly, and then pulling back out of fear or uncertainty, or maybe even spiritual overwhelm. Now, typically I use this particular deck not for collective readings, but today I was very drawn to using this deck for this particular reading. And it feels like these cards, they are very dreamy, they are very imaginative. And there's something deeply astral about this particular card. So you might feel their presence in your dreams or in songs that seem to speak their words, or sudden flashes of memory that maybe are not yours alone. So this knight might not be speaking in the 3D, but they are riding strange beasts across your soul's landscape, leaving some sort of energetic footprint. In other words, they're trying to reach you, not just physically, but maybe telepathically or emotionally or spiritually. But they haven't fully arrived. It feels like they're circling and watching, and they're building some sort of courage. So the sideways position, it says not yet, but there is a desire that is very much alive and moving. The King of Wands traditionally is someone very bold and very magnetic, and is someone who is a visionary, a leader, not a follower. But this particular depiction shows this very gender fluid depiction. We can see a figure who very much blends the masculine and the feminine energies with ease. We can see that they are dressed in these flowing robes, and we can see that they have their hair in these 2 ornate double buns, crowned with what looks like a sunflower, which is a symbol of optimism and growth and adoration. So there's grace and there's softness, and yet there is this undeniable strength within this card. So at first glance, if I had not seen the bottom name of this card, I might have thought that this was the Queen of Wands. And that's not just a design quirk, it is a message. So this person is evolving from the impulsive, perhaps this ungrounded energy of the night, into someone who's learning to balance action with intuition, desire with integrity, leadership with vulnerability. They might be reconciling parts of themselves that they used to hide, perhaps learning that true power isn't about domination or control, but about presence and wholeness and showing up with their full self. And this sunflower at the crown is especially meaningful. I don't know if you've ever observed sunflowers, but they turn their heads to follow the sun. So it feels like this person might be turning towards what brings light into their life, which may be you. So this king, as I see it, seems to be saying, I want someone worthy of the vision that I see for us. And it feels like this person is going through a massive transformation, the transformation that we had seen when we talked about the Two of Cups. We then move on to this 8 of Swords, and this shows me, if we look at the depiction, it shows that they feel bound, not by the lack of love, but by overthinking, maybe past pain. So this 8 of Swords, it shows someone who could free themselves but hasn't yet. We can see that there are these vines and these thorns, and they represent old stories and emotional entanglements. We can see that they're blindfolded, and yet this large moon behind them suggests that their intuition and their feelings for you are quietly illuminating the truth. So this person very much feels like they are on the edge of an awakening.